race?
Yeah, today I think it's it's nice today. I think we got a stage that like a true stage that the Tour Alberta could provide with the winds and the rollers and whatnot. And I think we raced hard all day to make the stage even better and more exciting. It's pretty much as soon as we took the first right-hand turn today, it was game on till the finish. And I think it made for an exciting day of racing for everyone to watch. And I think it just adds to what that Tour Alberta can be like and how it can develop into a hard race, not necessarily with big climbs.
And then the follow-up was when you hit the second climb onto that plateau, obviously you guys were trying to chase back, but take us through that as well. And was it headwind, tailwind, crosswind?
Yeah, I think after the last KOM of the day, I think we changed directions a few times, so it was just, we were just trying to, stay together as a group behind it. We worked pretty well together. We didn't quite catch on, but, it was still pretty good.
On to Rohan Dennis. A little bit of background on Rohan. He was the best young rider at the Tour Down Under. 8th at Criterium Dauphiné overall, top 10, right? And, best young rider there as well. So Rohan, second win this year? First win this year for you. Take us through the, there were 4 BMC guys, there was you. What was the game plan, I guess? And then obviously you were a little isolated somewhat with 2 BMC guys, and then take us through the sprint. Obviously you must have felt good today.
Yeah, I was probably a little bit lucky. BMC guys, they had a couple of digs every now and then, but they didn't really commit. So our team decided to sort of just watch Patrick Gretsch and Brent Bookwater. They were the closest to in the GC to me, and I was fairly confident in being able to follow any sort of attacks by them. So I just sort of tried to tag them and save as much energy as possible for that eventual final climb. Because I knew it was going to split one way or another. It split on the first climb and it wasn't as hard. So from then on, it was all pretty straightforward. We worked really well on the last 20-30k, and it all came back. The last 4k was pretty aggressive. So I was lucky. I still had some sort of legs to follow Brent, or all of them really, attacking myself and being able to sort of save something as well for that final sprint.
Questions?
Talk a little about the coming into the marathons here, and how did it change going from having these down into these gullies and river valleys? Was that much different for you today, and how did you have to adapt to changing conditions today?
Once that breakaway sort of was established before I think it was about 70 kilometres in, it hadn't changed a whole lot from then on until we broke away on the top of that last climb. Every now and then there was a bit of a disorganisation, but we worked fairly well together, and we all had the same goal in mind, was to keep up our gap and ride our way to the finish. So there wasn't a whole lot of difference until there was only 6 of us left, and then it was just smaller numbers. We just all rolled through.
Rohan, there was a lot of GC threats in that breakaway of 12 and then 18. How did you guys get away?
It was sort of a bit of a fluke. I thought there was a couple of attacks by, I think, and Sabo started it. Just a couple of those little rollers, about 60k or so, and a couple of us jumped across, and then from then it was there was a couple of little attacks, and the group was just sort of formed. I saw a group of 5 or 6 behind, which I think they eventually got on. Mm-hmm. And I was worried that Peter Sagan was in there, and I thought as soon as he's here, the brake will shut down. So I was hoping that they wouldn't catch us. But when they did, I saw Peter wasn't there. It was a bit of a relief. So yeah, that was from then on. It was how it all panned out.
Ryan, at one point, you and Caruso jumped after you had that little first group. You took off for a while. He followed you. Then you came back. What was that? Were you testing to see how your legs worked?
The way I was seeing it, the guys weren't really organised and the gap wasn't really established properly at that stage. So I just sort of rode hard into the crosswind, and before I knew it, I had a bit of a gap. So I just rode my own tempo and at a time trial sort of pace. And Caruso wasn't going to roll with me, obviously, because Peter was back in the group behind us, and I was happy with that. But the team came up and said, "Look, it's too far. Go back to the bunch." And luckily, I had legs, and it wasn't too much damage for myself in the finish.
Ryan, last year you had some decent results. This year, even better results. 2 podium in Colorado. Now coming in hot here in Alberta. Tell me about your season so far and what it means for the rest of your career.
Yeah, I mean, for me this year it's been really good. I've done really well, and I've just been racing in North America, but all the UCI races I've done here so far have gone extremely well for me, and I think it's really going to be able to leapfrog me going forward. And then after this, I really look forward to trying to do well with the Canadian national team at Quebec City.